The lighting for my set begins outside of the hut, and I have a very big bright light to replicate moonlight. So when Roy is kind of trying to break in, we can see that. Moving into the house, you just have two lights inside the house. One is on the table, which is going to be the lantern, which Roy will eventually pick up, and one's going to be outside, the moonlight shining through the windows and hopefully giving it rays of light. Also, the fireplace is a source of light as well, just to make the colours a little bit warmer. As we move to the staircase, Roy brings the lantern, and as you can see, it lights up the staircase as we go up the staircase. And moving to the upstairs, as we come upstairs, the moonlight from the outside is still shining through into the corridor, and the lantern Roy brings lights the corridor up slightly, but just around his immediate body, and not too much to leave it in the dark. There's also light coming through the outside of the window, lighting up the room where the shooting happens. Moving on to camera angles and movement, the shot begins with a steady cam following Roy up the gravel path to his house by his feet, and then it goes to a stationary locked camera which looks at Roy banging on the shutters, and also it pans up to look up at the building of the screens, and it pans down again. It then cuts to a tracking shot of the camera on a track. As Roy smashes through the door, the camera goes straight through with him to signify going into the room. And once we're in the room, the camera stays stationary in the corner on top of the table. Doesn't move at all, it's locked off. It sees Roy running to the door and back again. And it then cuts to a POV shot where the camera moves towards the stairs, and we see Roy's body moving up the stairs in little jolts as we hear the creaks of the stairs. Moving on upstairs, as we get up the stairs, we see Roy's point of view, and then we also see Roy looking into the cupboard, and we see the local's point of view. The camera here is going in and out of the door to show the local looking in and out of the door, and that camera's still. We see another stationary camera, which is a low angle looking up at the cupboard, and we also get a tracking shot of when Roy starts to explain he's unarmed. The camera moves across in a really fast movement to his face. We then also see a kind of track away from his family as they're kind of whimpering to show the despair, and also to finish the scene off, we've got a camera that looks left and then looks right to give Roy's point of view. Downstairs there's a crane shot, so when the gunshot goes off, it cuts away to this shot, and the camera pans up from downstairs, which is a very lonely place, and it pans up into the room, so we can actually see the room and what's going on in the room, so going through the floor. The blocking for my actors is going to be mainly Roy as he approaches, and I want him to approach just outside the door to allow enough space, so when he bashes through the door, he's got the whole scene. Once he hears the scream, he runs to the kitchen to look in there, nothing in there, and then runs as fast as he can up to the stairs. So he only really uses a short V shape in the downstairs, and he uses the stairs as he goes up. Once he does reach the upstairs, initially he looks into the cupboard, so he slightly moves to the right to be in shot for that camera, and then he slowly creeps up to the door in which his family are being held hostage. He moves in the door after a short while, and also we can see the camera tracking as the local moves to the left, and also we can see the movement of the camera following his family and Roy. The camera moves with the character on the Steadicam at the bottom, and the camera moves with Roy through the door, and then it also moves. We've blocked out the section for the point of view. We've blocked out the section for the track to go upstairs, in terms of the camera pulling away from the family. The props used within the set, we've got a bookcase inside of the front room, which is some furniture that was acquired and shows the kind of tatty old looking look of the cottage. We've got the fireplace, which is a main feature because it provides a lot of light, a lot of warm light in the scene. The table as well, it kind of gives a family environment that the family sit around this table, and it's a family home. And moving upstairs, in regards to prop, we have the bedside table, which is where we see the villain sprawled across with his brains blown out. So all those 4 props there are really important to the scene, and as you can see, the decoration of the place gives an old feel with a slate floor, the brickwork, and even in the kitchen we see a really run-down wall, which kind of suggests the family has not got enough money to repair it.